Hey, man, I've been thinking having two hosts is kind of lame.
So, like, what? You want to add a third?
How about a four? Happy Tyrannosaurus Rex Thursday.
Interesting.
Welcome into the
Interesting.
PHNX Sun Devils show. I am Anthony Totri, joined as always by the Rain Man himself. That is Erik Ruby. We have Captain Redbeard behind the Mac, making all of the magic happen. Guys, do us a solid. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. Erik, today is not a traditional show for us.
Why is that?
It's because the one, the only, your favorite running back's favorite running back, Skattebo, is going to be joining us on today's show. So definitely stick around for that. We're going to get to that a little bit later on in the show. We've got some games to play with Scat.
Games?
We've got some games to play with Scat. We've got some film to watch with Scat. We've got some questions for Scat. We have a ton for Skattebo. And Erik, this is not the only time that he is going to be on the show. We're going to have him on the PHNX Sun Devils show multiple times throughout the rest of the season. So definitely buckle up, lock in, because number 4 is a part of the PHNX family, baby.
That's so cool. Obviously, when he gets in here, it'll be a very fun moment. We're gonna have a great time with him. He's a funny guy too.
He's an interesting cat.
we're gonna have a good time. So I'm super excited for that big moment for PHNX Sun Devils. Big moment for everybody in here right now. BC, Short Bus, Sharon, Beaver Nation. Hello, Beaver Nation. Make sure you're all hitting that like button. Make sure you're subscribing, and of course, you can become a diehard today for a discounted price. Yes, indeed.
$48.
$48 gets you all the beautiful things that being a diehard is, which is a diehard Discord, a free hat or t-shirt every single year, exclusive audio and video content, ad-free experience on our website, and you get it for so cheap. And you can hear from all of our fellow diehards just how worth it that is. But we got a little news.
We have some unfortunate news to
discuss.
get to before we get to Scat a little bit later on in the show.
Can't all be good.
It could be. It
we're
could
not
be.
allowed.
It could be all good, but the Rain Man here wants to rain on it. Yeah, Arizona State lost a commit, class of 2025. Yeah. Adrian Wilson, 4-star wide receiver, announced his decommitment from Arizona State, reopening his recruitment. Not long after that, he had announced an offer and a visit now to the University of Colorado. Arizona State losing one of their top class of 2025 commits.
Yeah, this sucks. This sucks, especially because you look at the wide receiver room, and pairing a nice high-star wide receiver with Sam Levitt was very tasty, something to look forward to. But at the end of the day, it all blends back into what the coaching staff has as a message for this team, which is if you don't truly want to be in Tempe, if you don't really want to be here, don't come here.
Yeah.
Don't. And I don't think it's a mistake that 6 minutes after he announced his decommitment, or even before, Kenny tweeted it's a great day to be a Sun Devil.
Yeah.
Because I don't think, A, Kenny takes this type of stuff personally, and B, I think he knows he's going to be okay, right? It would be nice to have a 4-star wide receiver who's 6'2". Like that's a nice target to have. And it's certainly a loss to not have him. And it would suck for him to go to a fellow Big 12 school in Colorado, which is kind of where signs are pointing. But at the end of the day, you're going to survive if you're Arizona State, because after this season and after everything you put out on the field, Totri, you're going to be fine. You're going to get your 4 stars eventually. You're going to get your wide receivers, and I'm sure you might be able to even find some in the portal too.
Yeah,
it's going to be okay.
Glenn with an interesting comment. Rather give the NIL to a proven transfer wide receiver. Not just that, but you have to think about the NIL when it comes to re-recruiting the guys already on your roster.
Yeah.
Right? Jordan Tyson's going to definitely command a little bit bigger of a price tag when you get to the offseason. Xavier Guillory is out of eligibility. Malik McClain, obviously, on the red shirt. So there are a couple of names that you're going to want to keep. And this wide receiver room is going to look really, really different next season, whether that be because you have class of 2025 guys coming in, or whether because Kenny and Hines Ward hop in the portal and they get some guys of their own. But you think about the wide receivers that aren't going to be here next year. Xavier Guillory, Jake Smith could come back for another year. I don't think he will. That is just my personal opinion. So you've got Xavier Guillory, Jake Smith, and Melquan Stovall, and I believe Troy O'Meara as well, will be out of eligibility. That leaves, again, Jordan Tyson, and then some of the younger guys, Caleb Black, a Malik McClain. This wide receiver room is just going to look really different.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what Malik McClain can do. I was excited to see him this season, and obviously we're not because he's redshirting. Again, it's one of those things where, you can't get mad at a high school kid.
Yeah.
Right? And I know there are some people
who do, though.
No, so not you can't as in it's impossible, because trust me, plenty of people do. And I was talking to Shane about this last night because we were doing the Suns
hanging out with
pregame. Yeah. I mean, you want to come hang out before Suns pregame? By all means, come by. But when this got announced, and I'm not going to go out there and attack the guy, right? And say, how dare you commit to a school and then decommit? It's the game.
Yeah.
It's just the game nowadays. And I can't blame an 18-year-old for doing what they think is best. Now, I don't know why you would go to Colorado if you think that's best.
He hasn't committed to Colorado.
Hasn't committed,
got an offer.
He hasn't committed. It's weird, I'm announcing my, my decommitment. Oh, and I just received an offer like this at the same time. It's like put 2 together usually equals 4. But I'm not mad at him. I would have liked to have him on the team. It's going to knock down your recruiting ranking, which was already really high for next year. But I'd be a lot more upset if I didn't have so much more to build off of. And even if we were a worse team this year, if we were a team where you're like, ugh, like the Wildcats,
no, yeah,
you know, it would be a lot worse if you lost your best recruit, right? Not even try to shoot at them, but if you were 3 and 4,
really,
and disappointing,
not even a little bit. Yeah.
No, and also, by the way, Southwest Bias is going to be dropping later today. Me and Mike Luke discussed if Brent Brennan should be fired immediately. Immediately.
Wow.
So check that out on PHNX Sports coming up. But Totri, it is what it is. I'm just going to throw my hands up. I'm going to say,
it is what it is.
I'm going to say, I wish it didn't happen, but it happened.
Yeah.
He's a kid. Let him do what he wants. And you know what? I'll see you in 2 years when you enter the transfer portal.
I mean, there you go.
And you come crawling back. Because at the end of the day, you saw what's artificial, and you saw what's real. You're going to come back to what's real.
There you go. Just like Adrian Wilson, we are going to move on to our next topic. Again, if you are just joining us, Cam Skattebo will be joining the show in studio. A lot to get into when Scat does arrive. So definitely stay tuned for that. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Erik, before we get the luxury of talking to Scat, I want to really, really soak into the luxury I have of talking to you about Cam Skattebo and realistically him in the Heisman conversation.
Oh,
because everyone talks about Ashton Jeanty, and rightfully so. I think right now he should win the Heisman.
He is the clear number 1 right now.
Travis Hunter is in that conversation.
Absolutely.
Has there been anyone else to you when it comes to college football that has really stuck out the way that Hunter, Jeanty have? And is Cam Skattebo one of those guys?
I think he's definitely one of those guys from a pure on-field production importance standpoint.
Yeah.
I think it's hard.
I don't care about names.
But
Ollie Gordon was supposed to be here.
But that's the thing. That's where it gets
Cam Ward. I'll give Cam Ward, the Miami quarterback. He should be in this conversation.
Yeah, I think Cam Ward should be in the conversation for sure. I just the thing with Scat is it's the same thing with Arizona State. You're never going to get the respect that you deserve unless you. I think even if Arizona State gets 10 wins this year, I don't know if Scat's going to be a Heisman candidate simply because it's Arizona State in the current way that people view them. And maybe he could change that. If anybody could, it's somebody as talented and as good as him, right? But I'm not going to be mad if he's not in the Heisman conversation because I don't expect him to be the Heisman conversation. Not from a talent perspective, not from a performance perspective, and right now, not even from a team record perspective, but from a narrative perspective. He is born to be, meant to be right now, the darling of college football freaks and fanatics, right?
Cam Skattebo?
Yeah, and there's a certain, there's a certain benefit of being that guy as well, because as much as you would obviously prefer to be in the Heisman race, but if you are the type of person where if you watch college football, you say, hey, who's the most fun to watch? You say, okay, Jeanty out of Boise State, and then it's, Cam Skattebo's in that conversation.
At least for
right?
running backs.
At least for running backs, right? And he's going to be leaving a legacy at this school in a long line of really great running backs. He's up there as one of the best.
Yeah.
That is okay. I don't see him being in that Heisman conversation. But to shine some light on some some misinformation on the internet.
Oh, God.
If you look up 2024 Heisman candidates right now, making the list on Google's summary, Jaden Daniels. You think he could win the Heisman this year?
Well, he won the Heisman last year.
JJ McCarthy.
Is this last year's?
Noah Fafita.
Yeah, I don't think he's in the Heisman conversation this year.
No. You think Will Howard's in the conversation?
No.
AI Google thinks so.
AI Google sometimes messes things up. They don't know what they're talking about most of the time.
No, I'm just saying. I thought that was funny, but I think top 3 right now is Gene T, Ward, Hunter. That's probably your top 3.
So Scat has a conversation.
I think Scat's probably, and if this is gonna sound, I guess you can tell me if this sounds slightly disrespectful. I think he's probably top 10.
Yeah, I think he's top 10 for sure. I don't think there's
crazy.
10 college football players this year on the offensive side of the ball. And the reason I'm saying offense is because when was the last time a defensive player won the Heisman? There just hasn't been 10 players in college football that have been more entertaining and as valuable to their team as Cam Skattebo has been through the first 7 games of the season. No. I just don't think there has been. And you're doing it in a conference where running back is the staple, right? Devin Neal, Taj Brooks, DJ Giddens, RJ Harvey, all these running backs that any given week are doing remarkable things. And Cam Skattebo is at the top of that list, right?
Yeah.
3 times he's won Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week. I would be shocked if he didn't win it a single other time this season.
He most likely will.
I just, what he's done has been wildly impressive this season, and the offseason to get to this point has been absolutely remarkable as well. And doing it for a team in Arizona State that has already beaten the odds in terms of, a program and a team that was picked to finish dead last in this conference going into the season. And Scat's put the team on his back.
Well, and that's the type of thing where I wouldn't say that we're biased. I mean, I think that we do love Arizona State. And I think that we actually do.
I'm employed by Arizona State, technically.
Yeah, I think, but I think generally we keep it real. And I think it's funny because in the offseason, we were just screamed at by U of A fans for being biased because we didn't believe in Brent Brennan and we believed that this team would be better than expected. I think that has played out to show that we were not too close to the situation and biased, yet just real ball knowers.
Certified ball knower.
But we've seen Cam's journey from Sac State to everything going on last year, playing a million different positions, to his offseason journey of cutting weight, of changing the way that he runs when he really didn't need to, and still being able to step up and perform in the way that he did over and over and over again. He's an NFL running back. We've seen the journey. We've seen him get there, and he'll do anything for you. And that's a blessing to have as a program, because he also comes with a good head on his shoulders, as we'll get into when he does join us for the latter part of the show. All of that means a lot more when you're watching it up close and personal. And so maybe the Miami fan of the world doesn't have Cam Skattebo near the top 5 or top 10 in Heisman. I don't think that's correct, but it's okay, because the ones who are here know. And at the end of the day,
the real ones know.
That's what really matters when it comes to leaving a legacy at a school like this. And he's doing that.
Yeah. No, you are 100% right on that. Cam Skattebo is absolutely leaving a legacy at Arizona State. And that legacy is only going to continue to grow through the last 5 games of the season. Look, we are going to continue talking about Cam Skattebo and all he's done for Arizona State this season, and all he will do through the final stretch of the year. And again, Scat is going to be joining the show here pretty soon. Pretty
exciting
soon. So
stuff.
Definitely stay locked in. Again, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. We're going to continue talking about a guy that we both believe belongs in that Heisman conversation on the other side of this break.
Steady and reliable, fantastic at their craft. No, I'm not just talking about Cam Skattebo.
I thought you were talking about me for a second.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Talking about Desert Financial Credit Union, of course, Arizona's largest, most trusted local credit union. But I'm not just saying that because it's an ad read. I'm saying that because it's personally true for me. Through my family, through generations, we've used Desert Financial Credit Union, from my grandparents to my parents to me and my entire family. We all use Desert Financial Credit Union. But you might ask why? Well, because they have a team of financial experts who are committed to their members and the community, offering financial solutions tailored to helping real people like me, I guess you could say I'm a real person, achieve their financial goals. You got your basics, your checkings, your saving accounts, then, the more tricky stuff, mortgages, loans, credit cards, investment options, and more. They have it all at Desert Financial Credit Union. Plus, they have 3 different Arizona State University branded Visa debit cards that you could check out. And on top of all of that, how about $200 right in your account? Because you can show your ASU team spirit, open a free checking account online, get $200 plus your choice of 3 ASU Visa debit cards. Go to desertfinancial.com/ASU to get started.
Erik, do you like having fun?
No.
You don't like having fun?
I hate it.
You hate fun?
I hate fun.
Do you enjoy drinking?
Yeah.
Do you enjoy pickleball?
Yeah.
Do you enjoy really, really good, affordable food?
Okay, maybe I do like having fun.
Well, Chicken and Pickle is the spot for you, whether you are a pro at pickleball or you're a novice like me and my good friend Erik.
Who's the pro? Who's the novice?
I think we're both novices.
Hey, I've played like 4 times.
I've played 1 time, and it was actually at Chicken and Pickle.
There you go.
I had so much fun, absolutely just beating up on Erik Ruby when it came to pickleball.
No chance you beat me that
That's
day.
fair. That's fair. But look, we did bond over the chicken and waffles.
Did.
Absolutely incredible food, incredible drinks, and incredible vibes over at Chicken and Pickle, guys. Head to chickenandpickle.com. That is chickenandpickle.com to see all the fun that you guys can have at their Glendale location.
Short Bus says, give me some fun coupons. What's a fun coupon?
I don't know.
Just
Did you ever have those coupons when you were kids?
Like what, you can cash it in?
Yeah, for like something. Those used to be my favorite things.
I don't think I got those. I think like I made those for like my parents for like a gift when I was like, I didn't have any money.
No, I think
I was like, hey, here's a clean the dishes coupon because I'm like 10 and I don't know how to give gifts. I never got fun coupons.
So you would give them a coupon that in return you would do chores that you probably already had to do?
Yeah, I don't know. I was like 10.
That was odd.
Yeah.
That was odd. I think I got a booklet of coupons that I had.
So what were
was like
your
get
coupons?
go have a sleepover or like get ice cream, like stuff like that.
Imagine getting woken up by your child at like 2 a.m. and they have their get ice cream coupon. Like, it says valid anytime.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, that's in hindsight, that was a crazy gift to get. Like as
crazy.
like a 9-year-old,
Yeah.
you could just do whatever the
Hey,
heck
you
you
can drive
wanted with
today.
it.
Yeah, you get the keys to the car.
Didn't cash that one in
No,
until
you
I
didn't
was
cash that one
15.
in?
No, absolutely.
Okay. Do we
not.
want to keep talking about the best player on Arizona State who's going to be joining us in studio in just a couple of minutes?
I want to. I want to get to Aaron's question though here in the chat. I don't see how ASU gets another win this year. Maybe against a bad Oak State team, but something about this team being bad on the road. Despite U of A struggles and injuries, ASU is equally bad. Do you want to take that? Do you want to break down what that was? Because I disagree with that. I don't think the idea that Arizona State is as bad as Arizona, I think, is a wild accusation. Yeah.
There's so much. They're way better coached. Way better coached. And yeah, have they struggled on the road this year? Sure. 2 losses to their 5 wins. And of course, those 2 losses all come with correctable mistakes in very tough environments in your first, Big 12 road game.
Yeah.
And I understand maybe I would get the perspective if it was, I think ASU doesn't have nearly as strong of an end of the season as they had to start. I understand that perspective. I think it's going to be hard to replicate exactly what they did, but not winning a single game is quite the drop off, equal to one that we saw about 8 years ago, the last year of Todd Graham, where you start off 5-1 and you don't make a bowl game. I just don't see that happening. I mean, William in the chat says there's only one game where they have no business winning, and that's Kansas State. Yeah,
Kansas State's schedule is tough the rest of the way, so for me, that could be a trap game for them.
Sure,
go look at their schedule. Go look at what they have left. It's not easy.
Making me do homework.
You do that, and I'm gonna get on Aaron real quick. So offensively, Arizona, in terms of total yards, is ranked 13 out of 16 in the Big 12.
Is that good or bad?
Arizona State is 9. So they're better in that category. In terms of passing, Arizona has the advantage. They are 6th in the conference. Arizona State is 14, so you win that. In terms of rushing, Arizona State is 4. Arizona is, I believe, 13. In terms of points per game, Arizona State is I believe, 12, and Arizona's 15. The only team in this conference averaging fewer offensive points per game than Arizona is Houston. Defensively, Arizona State beats Arizona in total yards allowed. They beat them in passing yards allowed. They beat them in rushing yards allowed. They beat them in points per game allowed. So tell me they're the same kind of bad.
Yeah, Arizona
tell me
State's
they're the same
team.
kind of bad.
We're not even being biased. Arizona State's a better team. I think you could ask U of A fans that are unbiased. I mean, you can talk to Mike Luke right now. Mike Luke would 100% say that ASU is a better football team than U of A.
He would also rather have Kenny Dillingham, to be honest with you.
Oh, are you kidding me?
I'm just putting that out there.
Who would
right now?
You kind of sold me a false bill of goods about this Kansas State schedule.
Did I?
Kansas and Houston in the next 2 weeks?
Yeah. I guess that's fair.
Those are two pretty easy ones.
Maybe I thought it was going to be worse.
Arizona State's a tough one. Cincinnati's a tough one. Iowa State's hard. The last 3 games are really tough, but they got 2 cupcakes for Kansas State coming up. But you know what? I don't even know if we want to talk about the schedule for too long.
I think we tell everybody that on the other side of this break, your hero is going to be sitting in the chair next to us. So definitely stay locked in, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and we are going to have Cam Skattebo here on the other side of this break.
Listen, we're keeping it tasty today, just like Neutral does. Neutral Vodka Seltzer has arrived in Tempe, and it's not fake. None of that fake stuff. No, it's real. Okay, real ingredients, simple. Vodka, seltzer, and real juice. And it tastes good. It doesn't taste fake. The strawberry lemonade's fantastic. I love the lemonade pack, but they got other ones as well. Pineapple, watermelon, black cherry, orange, and more. Nothing goes better with college football. Nothing goes better with watching Cam Skattebo put a man in the dirt and then sipping on a neutral while you're doing that. And I will admit, I'll raise my hand. I'm known to enjoy a neutral or 2 on our post-game shows, or 4, or 5.
There you go.
They taste so good, and they're not like any other seltzer out there. They truly clear the rest. Neutral is always keeping it tasty as long as you enjoy responsibly. 2024 Anheuser-Busch product. Neutral is a flavored vodka and carbonation out of St. Louis, Missouri.
Look, we love Neutral. We also love our friends over at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. You know why?
Why?
Because nobody does it better than Gila River Resorts and Casinos, guys. You can visit any one of their 4 locations. I know me and Erik are pretty biased to Wild Horse Pass, but a big reason because of it is because we have so many watch parties going on. Suns,
one tomorrow.
Cardinals watch parties. Do you want to tease that a little bit, that Suns watch
7 p.m.
party?
tomorrow. First watch party of the season for the Suns. I will be out there along with Lindsay, Gerald, Steven, Espo, Shane. Going to be having a good time. Come watch the Suns hopefully beat the Lakers, talk some ball. Come alone. We'll talk to you. We'll welcome you in. It's a really fun time. Go phnx.com/events. Come hang out with us.
Look, you can have some fun over at the watch parties or making some money over at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Guys, go all in with over 4,500 slots and live table games, or you can catch all the action at any of their sports books. Earn entries for Ferrari Fortunes every Friday at 7 p.m. Winners are drawn for cash prizes and free bonus play. The grand finale will take place on November 1st at Wild Horse Pass, where one lucky winner is going to win a Ferrari 488 GTB. You do you at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Visit playatgila.com for details. You ready, Erik?
Yeah, it's time.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Cam Skattebo is ready, guys.
Let's go.
And now for Cam Skattebo making his first appearance in studio, brought to you guys by Branded Bills. Elevate your brand with Branded Bills, the perfect headwear and apparel. Use code PHNX for 20% off your first order. Scat, Branded Bills, they said that this is the hat for you, man. We figured that maybe that's yours. That's yours. Scat, thank you so much, obviously, for taking the time, man. I know you guys are on a bye week. You have sent a lot of linebackers into the hospital over this season. I think opposing defensive coordinators probably have nightmares about you going into each and every week. For you, I'm just curious, what is your approach kind of going in to the Big 12, some of these games, obviously, versus last year in the Pac-12?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is last year, kind of West Coast vibe. A lot of people knew me already. You know, I was at Sacramento State, and then I played here last year. I think going into Big 12, it kind of showed the world what I'm about, and I've just been pushing every day and trying to make my game more successful, and become who I would know I can become at the end of the day. I still have another step of the ladder to take. So I'm just pushing every day to make sure I can get there.
Okay. What does the next step look like? Because you do a little bit of everything. I mean, even last year, you did a lot of everything. Where do you see that next level for you being? Where can you still improve and grow?
I mean, obviously my long distance speed, there's been a couple of plays where I've been walked down from behind, but yeah, I don't know. There's everything can always, improve. And my game's never sharpened to the sharpest knife because there's always somebody better, You see Gene over there in Boise State balling out. He's really good. So there's competition out there. There's a lot of good backs in the Big 12. So I've just, I've been trying to sharpen every piece of my game instead of just one thing. Because at the next level in the NFL, I got to put it all together to make sure I can stay on the roster and compete at the highest level.
You mentioned GT. We were just having the conversation beforehand about the Heisman and the conversation. Obviously, Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, and GT in that conversation for the Heisman. Do you feel like that your name belongs in that same realm with some of those guys based off of what you've done so far this season?
I wouldn't say off this season, but just the fact that I guess we'll see by the end of the year, there's still 5 games to play, so there's a lot more room for success and a lot more room for failure on their end and on my end. So I guess we shall see towards the end of the year, but I mean, I believe I'm the best running back in the country. That's just my beliefs, and he's having a really good year over at Boise State. So it's everything's politics. So I guess we'll see if I guess we'll see how it goes.
So I want to get inside your head a little bit. Obviously, you're not afraid of contact, right? And if anything, other people are afraid of that contact when they see you. In Cincinnati, there's an end zone, there's a player, and then there's you. What goes through your head when you see one obstacle in your way to 6 points?
I kind of didn't really see him in my way because I was already there. But those are the times where that guy comes full speed and hits you, and now you're hurt. Mm-hmm. He comes and hits you in the hip when you're not expecting it, or the knee and you're not expecting it, you get twisted up. I think I was more bracing for impact, and it just happened that way. I did hit him really hard. I definitely didn't let up and just kind of defend myself. I laid into it, but I mean, that's just kind of the game I play, physical. I mean, if you want to meet me at the goal line, then go ahead. We'll see who wins that one-on-one. I don't believe anybody will ever stop me. If you don't have full speed momentum, you might not have no chance. So, I mean, just the physicality, being at the goal line, and down 17 points, I had to set some momentum, and the guys have to see that the physicality we have to bring to the football team to be able to keep pushing. And we're not the most athletic team in the country, so we have to be the most physical.
Yeah. You said what goes through his mind. I just pictured just scat smash. That's what goes through your head, dude. Look, obviously not afraid of contact, like he said. I'm curious, what are you scared of? Like anything? Is there anything that you're just like, nah, sharks?
I mean, I grew up with a 6'5" dad and a 6'1" brother. Outweighed me by 100 pounds my whole life, They always beat up on me and, bullied me around, so there's not much. I mean, I guess a gun would be scary.
Yeah,
but,
that's fair.
The only way to stop Cam Skattebo from scoring a touchdown
but,
is you're gonna pull a gun out.
I don't think there's very many things on the football field that scare me at all. I've always been taught to, no matter how big you are, no matter how strong you are, like I'm still a man too. So we have to put our.
Well, that's up for debate.
Yeah,
that's an animal.
Yeah.
An alien.
Yeah.
You very clearly have a good sense of who you are and your approach, not only as a player, as a person, and that feels like it meshes really well with your head coach and his coaching staff. What is it about the tandem of you and Kenny Dillingham that works?
We trust each other. Every day we go to practice and he challenges me to become better. And I challenge him to be better. If I see him have an off day, I kind of give him a little crap about it. His energy's low. I tell him your energy's low. And I think we have the close enough relationship now that we talk on a side level of understanding each other and understanding the team and how we feel and how he feels and how he sees it. So it's just become, me and him have become closer day in and day out, just him pushing me and me trying my best to push him and make him a better coach as well. But he does a great job. Everybody respects him. He loves the game of football, and everybody sees it. So we're just gonna keep pushing and keep following behind him and see what he has in store for us.
Have you ever played for a coach that you can relate to like that before, on the same way that you can with Kenny Dillingham?
Yeah, I think so. I want to say all my coaches. My father was my coach growing up, and then I went to high school, and Jack Garceau, my high school coach, he took the job for 3 years just to coach me and at the varsity level, and then stopped coaching after I was done. So, and then Troy Taylor over at Sac State, he gave me a chance, and me and him had a pretty deep connection through the time I was there for those 3 years. COVID, we came kind of close, because there's no games to play,
Mm-hmm.
so I had to earn that trust through practice and getting better and fine tune the details. So he was a big part of my success. And then we're talking head coaches, but I mean my position coach at Sac State too, Malcolm Agnew. He was a big part of my success. He developed me like crazily during COVID, from taking my game from high school to college and teaching me how to understand the difference of speed and physicality at this level. So.
Absolutely. I do want to get to Will's question in the chat, because this is something that I've been asked by people. I know you've talked about it before, but they want to know what's up with you shaking your head between plays, almost between all of them.
Okay, I will say the first thing I'll say is if I ever have anything wrong with my head, I will take myself out of the game. That is not an issue. I know my health is more important than anything. I've talked about it a couple times in the past. I thought it was, my helmet used to stick to my face. When my hair wasn't as long, I didn't have a bigger beard. My helmet used to stick to my face, and my sweat would dry up. And I think over this last year, it's became just such a constant thing. And now I feel like it's more of an OCD thing. The fact that my helmet has to fit perfect.
Yeah.
Like if I see my face mask off just a half inch, I notice it.
It bugs you.
And I don't know, I just shake off the hit, make sure my helmet's fitting right. Like you see me too. I use my shoulder to kind of adjust my helmet. It's not a tick. It's not Tourette's. It's none of that. It's just, I think it's something that shows that I'm focused and locked in.
Yeah.
I talk to my coaches about it all the time. The referees come up to me all the time and ask me, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'll do it the whole game. I mean, I do it in practice every single day, even if we're just in a helmets practice.
Yeah.
You'll see me smacking my helmet with my shoulder. And the guys are like, you good? And I'm like, yeah, I'm all right. We're good. It's just a OCD thing, I think.
So you mentioned, the OCD thing and being kind of obsessive about the details. Is that something that you've always had, in every aspect of life? Or is that a football thing where you're just like, I have to have everything right on the field?
Yeah, you have to have everything right to play. The coaches trust you the most when you know what's going on in every aspect of the game. I'm really smart. I believe there's not very many running backs out there that are smarter, as smart as me. And when I play the game, I feel if I was 6'2", I'd play quarterback just because how much I understand the game. And I don't know. It's just I can't remember. I just love the game, and I just believe I'm the smartest. So it's hard. My anxious is kicking on. I'm ready to play already.
We're getting you fired up.
I don't talk
Let's
about
go.
football much. I go home and I play video games and I relax and I
What
don't
do you
think
play?
about it. Call of Duty, Apex. I play Rainbow a lot.
No NCAA?
2K. I hate football games.
Do you really?
I hate them. I play them obviously if my buddy's like, hey, you want to play? I can't stand playing Madden.
Have you ever played Madden against Kenny? Because when we had Cole in here over the summer, he had a very specific way that Kenny had played Madden. And it was run it down your gullet until you get to the red line.
Yeah, no, I've never played him actually simply because I hate playing Madden, So when he's in the room, I'm never there. He's always there, when guys are just kind of kicking it and hanging around on their free time. I go home and I like to relax. My body's in pain every day, so I try my best to just relax as much as I can. So it's awesome to be able to do that.
What's your process like? I know it's kind of different for every player, but a player like you that does inflict so much contact through 4 quarters every single game, what is the next day like for you? Like Sundays, do you have a routine or a ritual in terms of just getting your body back to where it needs to be?
I wouldn't say I have a routine, but it depends on what's bothering me. Sometimes I have major, not injury, but hurt things that are hurting. In some games I walk away and it looks like I'm in pain, but it's just tightness and, bruises here and there. But obviously the cold tub is a big help for my legs to rejuvenate and get those back. And then I work with our training staff to make sure I'm staying healthy every week. So I don't really have a routine, but I've been doing it for 17 years now. So it's like I wake up and I see what the day takes with me. And, the more you move around after a game, the better you feel the next day. So I just try to stay moving and stay out of bed.
Yeah. We got 2 good questions, both from Glenn's in the chat. We'll start with Glenn with 1N. What NFL player does Scat try to emulate, or the most that he relates to as far as build and size? Do you have an answer for that?
I think he answered this on the first time we had him on, but we'll see if it's the same.
Yeah, I mean, I think now that I'm getting into more of my different type of game, I've been trying to make people miss more instead of just running them over. You guys might not see it as much, but when there's guys in the way in the gaps and stuff, I'm trying my best to get out of the way. Like I'm working on that, and that's something that me and my coach, Coach Iguano, have been going over, is making someone miss at a point in contact and attacking half a man. So I mean, Christian McCaffrey does it well. You watch him play; he's shoulder to shoulder everybody. He doesn't try to run anybody over, square up, and he doesn't try to outman anybody. He uses his skills and has athletic ability to try to get around people. So I mean, you see in the Cincinnati game, I seen that dude at the edge, and I knew I had to beat him one-on-one.
Yeah.
It wasn't my first instinct right then and there when I was able to think about it. It wasn't just to run him over; it was to try to make him miss.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and you made 2 guys miss right before that too. You got right around the edge, and they just couldn't get
that's
you.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The first guy that came off the edge, I knew I had to make him miss. There was no way he's coming full speed off the edge. I couldn't just run him over and get in the end zone. So.
The last guy, he just got the short end of the stick, I guess.
Yeah, he just got what was waiting for him, I guess.
What he walked into.
Oh my goodness. We have another question from a different Glenn in the chat. Just on why you chose to stay at Arizona State. Obviously, a player of your caliber with not a ton of eligibility left. You saw some really, really talented Sun Devils on last year's team opt to go to different schools. You opted to stay. Why was that?
I wouldn't say it's anything specific other than I believed what Kenny had going on. And the guys that started to come in during the spring, I seen how much they love football. And, me and Coach Dillingham sat down and said, he told me he was going to get me an offensive line. And I was like, all right, let's do it. We had a couple guys come back that were injured last year, and we brought a couple guys in. So I trusted him, and me and Lee Fautanu had a conversation too, He was like, what are we doing? This is a hard decision to make, and I was like, we're staying here, dude. Like, let's thug it out. Let's turn this thing around, and let's make this team better. Like, we're not just going to let this team fall in a hole because Dillingham's got a great thing going. So me and him decided to stay together. And, we pushed and people challenged each other over the summer and over spring ball and over fall camp. And, we're 5-2 through 7 weeks, so 8 weeks. So it's pretty cool to see, what I thought was going to happen come to life. So
for sure.
ASU has had a very long, illustrious line of running backs and a lot of success at that position. And it seems like fans usually gravitate to that position here. And that's no different with you. Obviously, I know you're not looking at like our post-game shows and stuff, but everybody in the chat is just so hyped to watch you play and to watch you evolve your game. Like you mentioned, you worked on your body over the summer. You became shifty or you became faster. Like, you could have just said, you know what, I'm good. I'm going to keep going. But the fans really appreciate and respect that. Do you understand that long after you're gone here now, people will remember you as one of the best running backs that this school has ever seen?
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome. I was in high school, and that's the last time I've heard my name chanted in the stands, and it's kind of cool to see that and hear people say that and hear people talk about me all the time. And it gets to my head a little bit, feeling like the man, but I have to, stay humble and continue to keep fighting. And, we're 5-2 with 5 games left. Anything can happen, and then those fans can go away. So I just got to keep pushing and understand that, I got support behind me, and the fact that people are supporting me and I love it. It's awesome. And hopefully we just get more and more and we keep it rolling.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously at the start of this season, the Big 12 preseason media poll had you guys picked dead last in this conference. It's something that Erik and I have talked about a ton on this show, that it felt disrespectful at the time. And I think there are a lot of people trying to retract that, seeing that you guys have started 5-2 to start the year. And I know Kenny is made a point about it, especially at the start of the season, where he was just like, nope, that's where we belong. That's the team we are, blah, 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 blah. Did you take that with a grain of salt? Like, that was something going into that Wyoming game that you're like, okay, everybody's picking us to be the worst team in this conference. There's no way that's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, Xavier Alford does a great job. You know, he's the vocal leader of the team. He talks every game, before the game, after the game, every day at practice. You know, he's always talking. And he's made it a push on. We were picked last, you know, and every meeting we start the meeting with number 16 on our board. They start that special teams meeting and the team meeting every day with the number 16 picked dead last in the conference. So, I mean, I think everybody understands that we're not number 16.
Yeah.
We're a top 4 team in our conference, and we understand that. We could be the best when the season ends. We've lost to 2 teams that we should have beat, and we beat ourselves, and we struggled, and we did things wrong and missed assignments. But I would say I think we all took it with a grain of salt, you know, and was like, all right, it's time to go, you know. And that's, like I said, we challenged each other over the summer, making sure that everybody was pushing and nobody left anything in the tank when that Friday workout was done.
Yeah.
So I think all that work is paying off for sure.
100%. I think for the ASU fan base, they see that too. And again, a bunch of people that come back and watch this show daily, they took it almost, I imagine, in a similar way. They're like, there's no way that this team is going to be 16. And a lot of that, I think, had to do with the fact that you stayed, Leaf stayed, Tyson stayed. And there is a belief, not just, I think, within the team, but I think now in the city of Tempe, that this program can be something that it hasn't been in a long time, maybe even ever. So it's been crazy to see.
Yeah, I mean, we have a backfield, and the Coach Aguano and Coach Dillingham and Coach Arroyo are going to keep bringing guys in that can run the ball, because that's what they do. You know, obviously Sam Levitt, he's the future. He's going to be great for us in the next three years. I'll definitely be back to watch him play. You know what I mean? I played with him a whole year. He texted me the other day, you know, I wish I had you for 3 more. But that goes into saying, like, you know, me and him think about the game the same way, and he's one of the smartest. And I think he just turned 20 years old. One of the smartest 20-year-olds that I've met in the game of football. He was a lot smarter than me when I was 20.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it just shows you what Coach is bringing in and what he has in store for ASU and the future.
Yeah.
Make sure y'all drop a like. Quattro in the building. We're going to continue talking to him. We're going to play a fun game. And of course, he's not just going to be on for this show. He's going to be on for multiple shows throughout the end of the season. So there's a lot of meat left on the bone. We're going to get into it, but we're going to have some fun, and we're going to do it right on the other side of this break.
Look, I've said it on some post-game shows before, but Cam Skattebo is the equivalent of a truck. Okay? Sanderson Ford, F-150. Okay? They're one and the same, guys. Their 65-acre facility makes them the largest Ford dealership in the nation. I had the luxury a couple months ago to spend a weekend in a 2024 Ford Bronco Big Bend Sport. Erik, I miss that car every single day.
You talk about it so much.
I miss that car. I love that car. There are a few things in my life that I love. That car was one of them, and I need to get my hands on it again, guys. But the next time I go to Sanderson Ford, I know they are going to take care of me, because they have the best customer service in the game, guys. Choose Sanderson Ford. Get a new 2024 F-150 truck with 3.9 APR financing for 60 months plus $1,000 cash back. And if you trade in your Ram truck, get an additional $2,000 cash back. Get it all with no hassle, no pressure, no nonsense over at Sanderson Ford. Offers OAC from Ford Credit expire on Halloween for your next vehicle purchase, or at least choose a dealership that gives back and pays it forward. See dealership for details.
You got to elevate your brand, and there's a very easy way to do that, and that is with Brandon Bills. I'm rocking my Brandon Bills right now. We got a Brandon Bill hat over there, and it is also an official partner with ASU. And of course, you know, they do charity work around the valley, working with those small little guys, the schools like U of A, I guess. They're a local brand out of Mesa, Arizona. They have everything: snapbacks, truckers, fitted, beanies, and tees. We're going to get our own custom apparel. You can get your own custom apparel as well. They elevate everything. It's the most comfortable hat that I own. I've seen so many ASU players. When Sam Levitt was in studio, he was rocking a Brandon Bills hat. Of course, Headspace with Cole Martin, brought to you by Brandon Bills. So if you are an ASU fan, which I'm assuming that pretty much everybody who's watching right now is, make sure you go support a local company and support ASU. Head to brandonbills.com. Use code PHNX for 20% off your first order.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Look, earlier in the show, Scat, you were talking about you haven't heard your name chanted that way since you were in high school. I was looking up today some of the stuff that you did in high school, man. 3,500 yards your junior year and 42 touchdowns. Was it just like you would show up on Fridays just like absolutely chomping at the bit?
Yeah, I mean, I had my coaches in high school kind of the same last year. I struggled practicing on Tuesdays, and I think my headspace was somewhere else, trying to make sure that I was still loving the game. But that year I had a couple coaches in my back pocket that were pushing me every day. Didn't allow me to sit out of practice if I had a little tweak. They worked on it, and they got me back in. And I did cryotherapy every day, every single day after practice and every game. And that was a big thing for me, that kept me healthy. But I mean, I touched the ball 300 and something times that year. So, at the level I was playing at, I knew I was a lot better than that. And obviously I proved it. So that was a hard part of me, running for 3,500 yards and 42 touchdowns and not getting no exposure. Kind of took my head out of the game a little bit, but it was definitely an awesome year. I had fun doing it, and we won a state title.
Yeah.
I had some guys on that team that were really, really talented, but just went the wrong way in life. But there are also some that are very successful in life. So it's pretty cool to see that and look back on that.
Yeah, I think there's Arizona State fans that, and this is probably a minority, that think that just all of a sudden this was the type of running back that you became. But we have got some old huddle highlights from 2019 that I want to go ahead and play for everybody. And Scat, you were doing the same thing that you do at Arizona State to these poor high school kids. And like, it's absolutely ridiculous, some of the stuff that you were doing. Like, you're throwing them off of you, dude.
Yeah, I mean, this one actually was a pretty good team in our conference. We matched up with them well, and they were pretty good. So, I mean, I just knew every game I had to bring it, and my teammates loved me.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a 360-pound right tackle.
Jeez, in high school?
That just walked down defensive end. So he always gave me a yard or two to work with. So.
Some of this stuff is ridiculous. Eric, how many of you do you think it would take to tackle the high school version of Cam Skattebo?
I don't think there's a number.
You don't think so?
I think he can throw 100 of me, and he's getting through because he's evading me too. It's, like we can go right at him. He's going to find his way and cut through. Look at how he gets through traffic. You think I'm taking him down? Are you kidding me? Look at that. There's no chance.
There's just some of these runs, and I think you see it at ASU too, where it's just like you shouldn't be able to score on some of the plays that you actually score. And I think it was the Utah game where it was either the 47-yard or the 50-yarder.
50-yard,
where you had made a cut, like we're able to keep balance on one leg and then elevate all the way to the end zone. Like it's ridiculous. And I think a lot of people, when they first watch your game, a lot of it has to do with the impact that you obviously run with every single time. But I don't know if enough people talk about your ball carrier vision and then your balance. Is it something that you've worked on? Is it something that you've seen grow over time? Or is that just like, I played running back and boom, I've got that?
Yeah, I never understood how I do it, to be honest. Every day, something happens, and me and Coach Dillingham even talked about it. I think I fell twice all fall camp. Obviously not getting tackled, but teammates, hitting me and stuff. Like I'm this close to falling and I don't.
Yeah.
And we talked about it, and I literally have no idea how I make it out of some things. Honestly, the Utah thing, I went back and watched the video, and I was like,
it's ridiculous.
I had no idea my knee did that. I had no idea I was this close from buckling my knee and snapping it the opposite direction. So, I mean, I don't really feel it. Last year against USC, when I stuck my arm in the ground, it's kind of, I'm short and stocky, and I just am able to stay up. I honestly have no answer for that one.
You're like a cat, man. You just always land on your feet.
Yeah. I mean, I've been playing for a long time, so I think it's just been coming with the game and understanding where people are coming from and how I'm going to be able to use my force against theirs to be able to stay up.
Especially in the fourth quarter, I feel like too. And that's something that has changed so much, I think, this year versus last year. Last year, you were kind of all over the place, right? There were times where you had to play quarterback. You were the punter for this team at a certain point. And now you get to a point where you can really just focus in on being the tailback for this team. And I feel like you've got, like you said earlier, you've got a stable of running backs, right? Between D'Lo, Kyson, Raleek when he's able to be in there. That takes away a little bit from you. I know you want to get the ball every single play if it were up to you. Do you feel like it has helped the overall team, though, being able to keep you a little bit more fresh going into the fourth quarter?
100%. You know, when I only have 11 carries going into halftime and we're winning football games, that's always nice. Because it's not about, you know, the quantity of the reps. It's about how many yards I get per carry. It's not get 80 carries and have 3 yards a carry and have, you know, 160 yards or you know whatever it is. But it's just the fact that they're understanding that, you know, I still have more football to me and years on end, and they're helping me out with that, you know, and bringing guys in to be able to help me and stay fresh throughout the game is awesome, because they see that and they know when I'm fresh, then that's when I'm playing my best ball, and me tired is not always the best.
Do you know that that's usually the game plan going on? Like, oh, hey, we're going to be a little conservative at the beginning. It's like mentally you're like, okay, I'm ramping up. Like I'm getting ready for the end of the game.
Not really. I think that what we were talking about, you know, the summer workouts. In the past, I saved stuff in the tank, you know. I would go through a summer workout and I would still have stuff, you know, left in me when I was done. And this year I didn't. You know, I fought till the end, every possession, every drive we had in fall camp, and every spring ball and every summer workout. So I just love the game, and I like to play it all 4 quarters. The game ain't over till the clock says 0. So I just believe in being able to play your hardest until it says 0. And you know, they're bringing in, they got guys next to me and behind me that are helping me do that and staying fresh while doing it.
You don't do well with bye weeks, do you?
Not really. I like football a lot, you know, and I play video games and I play football. And when I don't have football, it drives me insane.
Yeah.
So I stay away from it when I'm at home, but when I'm away from it too long, I go insane for sure.
That's fair. That's fair. Look, we do want to play a little Big 12 game that we've got with you. But first, Short Bus in the chat. Short Bus, do you know who that is? He's a comic. I know he's messaged you a couple times. Have you seen him perform?
I have not. I need to catch a show, actually. I've talked to him a few times, you know, and I'm definitely going to try my best to catch a show before I get out of Arizona or wherever, you know, wherever the NFL takes me or whatever. But, you know, I'm here until later, early next year. So I definitely want to catch one of his shows.
We got to make it happen.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
He's very, very funny guy. Absolutely incredible. So definitely, if you're an ASU fan and you get the luxury to go check out Short Bus anytime he does stand up, definitely go check that out. But Kyle, Captain Redbeard, let's go ahead. Let's put the game on the board. So we are going to have you build your perfect Big 12 football program. Erik, do we want to go with $15 or $20 here?
Let's do 20. We're
going to be on it. Or we're going to be nice and do 20. Okay. So Scat, we're going to have you for $20. You have to get a stadium, a coach, a mascot, uniforms, and then you have to get a running back as well. We are going to go ahead and start with the stadiums off of the top. So it doesn't say it on the graphic, but I've got them for you right now. So for $5, you have Lavelle Edwards Stadium. That is BYU. For $4, you have Jack Tried Stadium. That is Iowa State. For $3, you have Folsom Field. That is Colorado. For $2, you have Mountain America Stadium. And for $1, you have Nippert Stadium, which is Cincinnati.
Oh, that was rough to play in. You know, I got to save some money. You said I have how many dollars?
You have $20.
$20. I think I'll take, what was the top pick again?
Lavelle Edwards Stadium, BYU.
I think I'll take BYU's atmosphere for sure.
That's a crazy atmosphere.
It is insane. I've never been there, but, you know, I've always seen videos, and that's something that I've always kind of want to be a part of. And ASU is kind of bringing that to life a little bit. So having that every game would be sick.
100%. Sure. Where are you going, Erik?
Oh, man, I feel like the BYU Stadium, because I remember watching when they played Arizona. And it's just like that's such a crazy atmosphere. But I do think Mountain America can emulate a lot of that.
I think at a certain point it can get there.
Yeah.
But yeah, BYU Stadium is pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty.
And the
crazy.
atmosphere, like you said, is ridiculous.
There's also nothing like a bowl with the stadium wrapped all the way around.
Yeah.
That plays a big part in the stadium. Then there's no openings for sound to exit other than the field or up. So.
100%. on to the coach. This is going to be a fun one. So for $5, you've got Kyle Whittingham. For $4, Matt Campbell. For $3, Kalani Sitake. For $2, Kenny Dillingham. And for $1, you have Brent Brennan. Pour one out for all of the U of A fans in the chat.
Okay, so I'm at $15.
You got $15 left.
See, Brent Brennan, you know, I was recruited by him at San Jose State before he went to. Well, he was actually still there, but I kind of set my mind to being a power forward running back, and he was a great guy. I can see myself in his offense and the way what he did. But I'm gonna rock with my guy, Kenny.
Yeah,
got
100%. I didn't know where you were going.
That's
with
my
that.
boy. I will say though, it would have been cool, you know, to see how he would have used me as well. But
yeah.
I mean, Dillingham's doing everything I want to do in football. So there's not really anybody that can beat that right now, to be honest.
You found a way to somehow still hurt Arizona fans because they're going to go watch that back and they are going to really, really hurt thinking about having you.
Yeah, he's a great coach,
offense.
though. I have no hate for that guy.
I can't lie. I
that's a good man.
got some heart palpitations over here. Going to that, I was like, wait.
Oh, my goodness. Where are you going?
$2 for Kenny Dillingham.
Yeah,
Talk about an investment.
Yeah,
that's the easiest choice on all of it. $2?
So you both have Kenny and you're both rocking BYU Stadium right now. Time to get to the mascots. Definitely some fun ones in the Big 12. For $5, you've got Nitro. For $4, you have Ralphie. For $3, you have Sparky. For $2, you have Pistol Pete. And for a single dollar, you have one of the worst mascots in all of college sports, Willie the Wildcat. Which is literally just a person with a giant wildcat head on it. It's so bad.
I think for some money purposes, I'm going to go with OK State's mascot.
Okay.
I think it's kind of cool, you know, old Western mascot, but I mean, I would be heartbroken to see that mascot every day, but I think for money purposes, we'll go with them. For sure.
$9. $9 is spent so far for Scat.
I want to splurge on Nitro so bad.
Nitro's such a good mascot.
Was Sparky for $3?
Sparky was for $3, yeah.
So let's change that to Sparky.
Sparky?
That's a good choice.
So got even 10.
We'll be at $10.
Even $10.
We'll still have $10 left. Yeah, let's obviously Sparky. That's the guy.
I don't want to keep taking his answers.
But you are. That's what you're going to do.
I got to stay true to myself. I want to splurge on Nitro, but I got to save money. There's some important picks that we need to make in the next two. I'm just going to keep on copying Scat because if I could be like Scat, then I think I'm fine. So, yeah, I'll take Sparky.
Well, you both have set yourself up now with about $10 left. So this is why
there tax?
There's not tax. I won't make you do tax. And we made it easy. We put the game on easy mode with $20 because I think in
the 20
in the real world I think it's like
100%.
$15. But now you have the luxury of kind of splurging wherever you want. We'll go straight to the uniforms now. For $5, you can get TCU's uniforms. $4 BYU, $3 Arizona State, $2 Utah, and $1 Baylor.
I really like Utah's red and white. The red and white is really. I like those colors.
Okay.
You know? But I've always been a fan of purple.
Yeah.
I've always loved purple uniforms. The Ravens uniforms. You know, TCU's got some of the sickest uniforms in college football. So I'll go with TCU for sure.
I'm gonna
Here we go again.
No, I'm changing. I'm swerving.
Okay.
Apparently, I really like what BYU's got going on. I think they have a really clean look. I need BYU's stadium, but with like Tempe energy.
That's fair,
man. Like I need ASU students in the BYU stadium with the BYU colors. Yeah, I'll rock with BYU for what was that, $4?
For $4. $4. And then we'll bring it home. I wanted to get you guys to the point where it was $15 and then you had to try and find a way to get a running back, but now since you both have so much money left,
cap space.
You've done a great job allotting your money for your final pick for your running back. Obviously $5 for Senor Scat, $4 for Taj Brooks, $3 for RJ Harvey, $2 for Ollie Gordon, and $1 for Devin Neal. Scat, I feel like I already know where you're going with this one.
Yeah, you don't even have to.
I'm kidding.
Obviously, I'm taking myself. I mean, I'm leading right now, so
yeah.
I'm going to take myself in all categories for sure.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is like when you copy out somebody's homework, but you change like one answer so it doesn't look like you're copying.
Yeah, 100%.
I knew for sure the two that I was going to take no matter what was Kenny for $2 and Scat for $5. And there was no questions about any of that. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm getting busted for plagiarism.
I mean, yeah, you're literally copied just about.
Hey, we have different jerseys.
Yeah, his
Purple
are
and
cooler.
blue.
His are way cooler than yours.
Hey, you're right,
Sorry,
but I
man.
had to swerve somewhere.
Sorry, I guess that's fair.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Scat.
Guys, that is going to do it for today's episode of the PHNX Sun Devil Show. Definitely hit that like button for Scat. Make sure you're subscribed to PHNX Sports on YouTube. Drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Again, this is not the only time that we are going to have Scat in studio. Still got a number of times throughout the rest of the season. So definitely excited for that. Guys, make sure if you enjoy the content, give the show a follow at PHNX_Sun Devils. You could follow me at Anthony_Totri. You could follow the meme maker here at Erik Ruby. That is Erik with a K. You could follow your favorite running back's favorite running back at Cam Skattebo 5 on social. You can follow Captain Redbeard behind the Mac at K Coop Sports. But in the meantime, guys, go Devils and peace.
We all silly like the mayor.